Everyone, so 6 things you may not know about funerals. And this list comes from Harpeth Hills Memory Garden, Funeral Home and Cremation Center. So number 1 is you can't authorize your own funeral everywhere. So in Michigan, that is how it is. You can pre-plan, you can prepay, but you can't actually sign the final authorization for your own burial or cremation. Your family has to agree with what you want to carry out those plans, which is why in Michigan, there is a funeral agent can be designated to take care of things if you don't think your family is going to follow through. Outlines a specific family hierarchy that show who has the right to authorize the funeral of a really recently deceased person. So know your laws in your state. Number 2, you can have a funeral whenever and wherever. Funerals don't have to be held in funeral homes. They never did. In fact, they can take whatever shape you feel best reflects the deceased and your family's wishes. I always say, does this work for your family? It's not just about what the deceased person wants, but what you need as a family. From a religious mass in a church for immediate family to memorial services in the funeral home, down the road after a cremation or after a burial, whenever it needs to be. The sky's the limit as long as it falls under the law. Number 3. Coffins and caskets are 2 different things. Coffins have 6 sides, typically, and are shaped like a hexagon to go along with the lines of the human body. Think of the old toe pincher style casket, meaning tapered at the head and foot with a wider construction at the shoulder. A casket is rectangular with 4 sides, joining at the right angles. 1 or 2-piece lid. Coffins often have just a 1-piece lid. Next, you can choose a funeral and cremation. Funerals and cremations are not mutually exclusive. This is one big thing which I am still always surprised that people don't know. You can have a viewing with an open casket before a cremation, or can host a funeral and everything with the cremains later. You can do all of it. Things can go in all different orders now. You can do a video, you can do things down the road after the cremation and have a service later, or you can have the body there and have service and then followed by cremation. All sorts of options. Next, embalming is optional. It's not always required by law. You can choose to skip embalming or be embalmed with eco-friendly preservatives. You always have the right to choose a body disposition method that does not require embalming if you don't want to be embalmed. However, some funeral homes may require embalming for a public viewing or for types of services, and it depends timeline as well. So know the laws in your state on that too. Number 6, you can compare prices. Prices actually vary from one funeral home to another. This is all based on business model. How many overhead buildings do they have? You can call another funeral home and ask what prices they have. Funeral homes must provide you with a general price list that outlines their prices in a very specific way so you can compare apples to apples. So always do your research, always ask the questions. If someone is not forthcoming with information, maybe that's a red flag. Don't be afraid to ask for that price list though, per your rights. So these are just a few things from the funeral home that they are sharing with you.